here with the Irwin Center. Dickie V, may the force be with you tonight as we get ready to see Michigan and Texas in what should be a very even matchup. Two teams who appear to be pretty even on paper, and it may come down to a battle of the Mo's tonight.
Tell you one thing, you talk about great big people. We're right here in Texas. They are ecstatic, and they have every right to be ecstatic. Mo Bamba is the real deal. Shot blocker deluxe. An unbelievable dynamite defensive player. A rim protector. On the other side, he's going to have Chase. Mr. Wagner is going to be running all over the floor, and he's going to be shooting threes, and that's one of the keys tonight. Shaka said, we must defend the three ball. If we don't do that, we are in trouble. I can't wait to see Bamba. I can't wait to see Mr. Wagner. Darth Vader's in the house. Jedi's in the house. I'm Jedi. Are you Darth Vader?
No. you and I are both fighting for the right side. Michigan and Texas met last year up in Ann Arbor. A very close win for the Wolverines, 53-50. Texas is without Andrew Jones tonight. Their sophomore guard, averaging better than 15 points per game, suffered a fracture in his wrist a few days ago. It's not season-ending. They're hoping to get him back in 3 or 4 weeks, but that's a big loss for them offensively.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He's having really a solid year. Came back. He was going to go to the NBA, but they told him to work on your shot, work on decision-making.
So Eric Davis Jr., who's from Saginaw, Michigan, steps in to the starting lineup against the Wolverines. Good ball movement. Down to Dylan Osetkowski. They run a lot of offense through him. He can really move the ball.
He's a transfer from out of Tulane, but a really valuable contributor.
Matt Coleman, the freshman, misses the three, and the rebound down to Charles Matthews.
That's one of the negatives down there. Don't shoot the trifecta really well at all. Under 30%.
Yeah, Texas under 29%, in fact, from beyond the arc. A look at the Michigan lineup, including Eli Brooks at the point, a freshman from Spring Grove, Pennsylvania. This is Matthews, the transfer from Kentucky. He and Wagner, really the big stories at the offensive end for Michigan. Wagner guarded by Osetkowski, and it's going to go against Wagner. A guy they have got to keep on the floor. And already John Beilein's going to make a change. John Teske is going to come in, and Wagner picks up a foul a minute in, and I don't know if he'll sit for long, but he's going to get a lecture while he's on the bench.
He's getting a lecture, and he's saying, Coach, it wasn't my fault, Coach. Blame the referee. Should have been a block.
So Teske, the 7'1" sophomore out of Medina, Ohio. Big guy, but not as mobile as Wagner is. The floater a little bit short for Davis.
Davis, an aggressive player, can attack the wing. He's had some big moments, and a big moment against Carolina. You did the game.
Yep. Duncan Robinson, got to keep an eye on him, a sharpshooter, although his numbers down from his last 2 years. But
well, he's not getting space, not getting free for a shot. They're really locking him up on the perimeter.
Shot clock inside 10. Michigan will be patient at the offensive end. Brooks has to force it up. Not a good possession there for the Wolverines.
Not the kind of shot they wanted, but had no choice. Hey, you're looking at Texas. They got 2 losses, both in overtime, to Duke and Gonzaga.
Osetkowski with the soft touch.
So he's been a real pleasant surprise.
Yeah, and they were up big on Duke out in Portland in the second half, and Duke came back to beat them in overtime, and then they had to come back from a big deficit to force overtime against the Zags, only to fall short in the extra session.
Well, they were up 16 on Duke. Yep. They had 16 plus.
Matthews trying to turn the corner, 16-footer, no. Teske with a rebound, kicks it out to Robinson. Tough pass in traffic. It stays with Michigan. John Beilein, the head coach of the Wolverines, in his 11th season in Ann Arbor, has taken them to 7 NCAA tournaments in 10 years, and of course took them all the way to the national championship game in 2013, where they lost to Louisville.
Tell you one thing, Dan, he was very optimistic before the game. He was so positive. He said, Dick, we're getting better and better. So I see it in practice every day. What a comeback they had against a good UCLA team.
Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman turns it over. Meanwhile, on the other side for the Longhorns, it is the 3rd season for Shaka Smart. After a great run at VCU, including a trip to the Final Four in 2011. Texas had a really tough year last year, but with Mo Bamba, Dylan Osetkowski, Matt Coleman, the freshman, at the point, hopes are higher this year that the Longhorns can finish close to the top, certainly closer to the top of the Big 12.
Well, just a matter of him getting personnel. He gets the kind of people that really can fit his system. The guy's a winner. He communicates well, good defensive coach, worked for Billy Donovan for a while.
Foul on Duncan Robinson, and Robinson has given up a lot of size in that matchup with Osetkowski. Robinson's about 215, Osetkowski's about 250.
Osetkowski very versatile too. He can step out, screen, knows how to play, has good basketball instincts.
That's him with the ball, and Matthews on him after a switch.
There'll be a lot of switching. Both these clubs switch on every screen.
Bamba more comfortable facing than posting, and that's been a problem for him at times this year. Dick, not strong enough with the ball, people knocking it away from him.
Yeah, physicality down in the post. He has to learn how to play in the post. He can face, make the 16-foot shot, but what a defensive player he is.
Oh, he is a massive force at the defensive end, one of the best shot blockers in the country.
Well, he right there altered that shot. Yeah. He alters a number of shots. He's a rim protector.
Osetkowski can shoot it, misses the three.
He was too wide open. He had too much time to think on that shot.
Michigan still looking to break the ice.
Tell you one thing, Matthews has been a real surprise for them offensively.
Abdur-Rahman into Teske, and he misses the layup. Matthews gets it back into traffic. He leaves it short. And the bucket's got a lid on it right now for Michigan.
Playing hard. They're playing with a lot of tenacity, but you got to make those open shots. You know, Matthews, when he was at Kentucky, the word was good defensive player, but a real suspect scorer and shooter. He has really done a super job scoring here for Michigan.
Yeah. He has struggled from the free throw line, but he's done a really nice job, he and Wagner, again, carrying the load offensively. Teske is called for the foul, his first. So Teske, Wagner, Robinson, each with a foul inside 4 minutes.
Well, you know, both clubs really having a tough time getting any kind of rhythm. Can't get a rhythm offensively.
And Ibi Watson checks into the game now early for Michigan. Abdur-Rahman goes to the bench. Michigan's turned it over on 3 of their 6 possessions already. Kermit Roach, who had a big game in that overtime loss to Duke, had 4 dunks in that game.
Very
the PK 80 in Portland. And another Michigan foul. And this one will go on Matthews. So a rough start for the Wolverines, but then again, the Longhorns only have 1 basket.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball.
Bagley is the whole package. He gave Texas a nightmare in the game that they lost. He had a big one.
Speaking of nightmares, how are any of those diaper Dannies supposed to get a good night's sleep with 3 pictures of you hanging right above them? Did you furnish that room?
Hey, I forgot to mention one thing that should be on there. Take a look right there, man. Wow, look at those diaper Dandies. Incredible.
I like the one of you throwing out the first pitch at a Rays game.
You like that,
I
huh?
do like that.
True strike, too. The Rays, they better get some players, man. Look what the Yankees are doing with Giancarlo. They better not take Longoria from us. I will go ballistic.
Jericho Sims into the game for Texas. Just 2-0. 4 minutes and 20 seconds in, and now a Texas turnover.
Really sloppy play.
Robinson got it, and Michigan finally on the board.
If he gets space, he'll make shots. Yeah. His problem is getting free for a shot.
He is 10th all-time on Michigan's made three-pointer list. That's his 183rd. Remember, he wasn't with them for his first year. He started off at Williams College, a D3 school.
Take a look at the zone. They've been playing mostly man-to-man this year, but they look at the numbers of Texas. They're going to the zone, making them shoot some perimeter shots.
Coleman. And it stays with Texas, 7 to shoot.
Here's Robinson getting open in transition. Runs to the three-point line. Nothing on the high line. What a story he is. Came here from a Division III school.
Yep. Williams College shot over 40% from 3 last year and the year before, down at 32% this year. But I think, people know what he is now, too. He's not going to sneak up on anybody anymore.
Absolutely. Right? They jump right in his face. The scouting report, don't let him get free. Hey, you know, we showed all those bigs. Here's a kid not getting a lot of publicity, deserves it. Brandon McCoy, 7-footer, played at Cathedral Catholic in San Diego, and he's now playing for UNLV.
Roach nearly turns it over. Shot clock's at 2. Coleman gets it off in time, but it won't go.
Coleman's been such a big plus for them as a point guard, getting a legit leader. They played without a point guard last year.
And Coleman, a terrific assist-to-turnover ratio, especially considering he's a freshman. Duke was interested in him as well, but he chose to come to Texas.
Well, and Duke, after that happened, they got Trayvon Duval from out of IMG Academy.
A couple of subs coming in now for the Wolverines. Xavier Simpson is into the game. He was tremendous for them in their comeback win over UCLA on the weekend at 15 points and 4 steals.
They were down 15 to UCLA.
Yeah.
Showed a lot of guts and heart. They lost a 20-point lead to the Buckeyes of Ohio State.
Crazy week. Maybe lost the one they should have won, and maybe won the one that looked like they were going to lose.
Excellent.
Robinson left this one short. And it's Texas ball.
He was challenged on that shot. Challenged.
Dick, 'tis the season. Holiday hoops are back. Got a great matchup for you Sunday afternoon. It'll be the 7th-ranked Tar Heels taking on the Tennessee Volunteers, who have had a nice start to the season. 3 Eastern on ESPN. You saw them down in the Bahamas, didn't you?
Rick Barnes has done a great job. He did a phenomenal job here. I mean, think about all the teams that he took to NCAA tournament play. He was really, I thought, an outstanding job. He lost a lot of key players, one-and-done players.
Yep.
When you think about Kevin Durant, you think about Tristan Thompson, you think about DJ Augustine. I mean, all these players, man, were unbelievable players. All went to the NBA, left early.
Foul on Simpson, his first, but already the team's 5th, just 5 minutes and 36 seconds in.
One of the things they stress, Texas, ball movement. You really want to get ball movement. They got to find a way during the course of this year to develop Bamba to be a little scoring threat.
And no ball movement at all.
Not right there, standing, stationary.
3-2, 6 minutes in.
Sounds like a baseball game you're calling, man. Those baseball games, you get all those guys jobs. Aaron Boone now, Yankees. Kona with the Indians.
Maybe we'll get you back into the coaching ranks.
Yeah, get me a coaching job. You get everybody else.
Abdur-Rahman from the corner knocks down the 3. Michigan year in and year out under John Beilein. They're a threat from 3-point range.
Yeah, that's the big priority that they had, shot the post before the game. Defend the 3.
Nice play by Teske, but then Sims gets it back and misses a chippy.
Sims is an explosive athlete, can really leap. Paul Biancardi gave me a good report on Texas. His daughter goes to school here. His wife graduated here.
Right now, Bamba, as Texas tried to get set up, he's on the point guard, Simpson.
Yeah, what a matchup that is. Look at this right here. Look at this matchup. Oh, he's switching all over the place, Bamba.
Matthews with a tough fadeaway, not there. And it's Texas ball.
I like to see Bamba get a little bit more active offensively. He can make the 15-foot shot.
Asked him yesterday where he's most comfortable getting the ball, and he said the elbow, the foul line, facing up, taking that 15-footer, maybe driving. Not really as comfortable down in the post.
What a great guy. Said no to Duke, Kentucky. Harvard was after him. He scored like 30 on his ACTs.
Roach working hard. 6'4". It was 53-50 between these two teams last year. They'll have to pick up the pace to get there in this one. Well, Mo Wagner's been on the bench for a long time. He went out a minute in and hasn't come back.
Both teams getting after him defensively.
Yep. Abdur-Rahman can't get free. Shot clock down to 6. Robinson this time with a drive, switches hands and lays it in.
That's very rare. You see him taking the ball to the basket. Utilize the left hand, as you said, switch the hand. He's normally a catch the ball, shoot the jump shot.
Boy, John Beilein and Wagner are really going at it. They're talking to each other on the bench, and it looks like some fairly harsh words are being exchanged.
Yeah, Wagner was not a happy guy coming out after that foul.
I mean, the coach always wins that argument, doesn't he? A 3 long for Roach.
Coach wins that argument. Coach wants to win a game. The Stork's going to be on the floor.
Nice shot fake. Abdur-Rahman launches to 3, and Sims down with the rebound for the Horns. Three is not there for Sims.
Wide open.
Yeah.
Wide open look.
That's the first one he's taken this season.
Haven't been able to make threes. Last 2 games, though, they did shoot 50% as a team. This year, they've struggled shooting the basketball.
9 minutes in, 8-4 Michigan.
You know, remember, they're missing their leading scorer. You miss a guy like Jones right now having a really super year, averaging close to 16 a game.
Nice drive by Matthews, but Bamba with a rejection. That's what he does best.
Use the bounce pass. Use the bounce pass.
And a chance to run for Michigan. Simpson, though, looks for help.
He better look for help because Mr. Bamba was right there to say, thou shalt not enter thy lane.
Bamba will block shots that just seem impossible. He's just got such incredible length.
And he's got great timing, too. He's very agile. He's going to get stronger physically.
He is averaging 4 blocks per game. 28 blocks in 7 games before this one.
I got to believe
he with a concussion.
Screen and roll to the basket. Nice drive. Roach is a driving, attacking kind of player. They had a very emotional game going down at VCU. Very emotional for Shaka down there. Had a big lead, lost the lead, but then hung on and got the W.
Held on for the win. Texas is 6-2. Michigan is 8-3. Simpson lofts it up over Bamba.
Bamba a little bit slow, reacted to the ball right there. Simpson, they're really high on him. They're saying he's getting better and better and better. He and Brooks sharing that point guard slot.
Young looking for help. And again, Texas scrambling at the offensive end. Bamba can't handle the pass. And it is out of bounds to Michigan. So past the midway point of the first half, the Wolverines lead by 4. Mo Wagner's getting ready to come back in. Haven't seen him since the first minute of the game. But we see Xavier Simpson. Subtle.
Sit down and guard these guys. Guys, hey, it's 10-6. We haven't even done anything yet, okay? Let's go play basketball. Let's go play basketball against these guys, okay?
Saying let's just go play basketball. It's been a struggle for them. Texas is 3 for 13. They've missed all 5 of their threes. Michigan's not much better. They're 4 for 14. But they've made a couple of threes, and that's the difference in the game so far. Isaiah Livers into the game for Michigan now. One of the 3 freshmen in the rotation. He's from Kalamazoo, number 4 in blue. Also Jordan Poole, another one of the freshmen. He's from Milwaukee.
And one thing, Michigan's got a nice class coming in next year, and so does Texas. Great movement without the ball. Nice cut right down the lane. Nobody rotated over.
And Abdur-Rahman with a slam to extend the lead to 6.
He showed that versatility and experience he had. He made a great cut down the middle of the defense. Right down the gut.
This is Davis. We mentioned he's from Saginaw. He had an interest in the Wolverines when he was in high school, but they didn't have as much of an interest in him. So you know that, to get a chance to play against a school from near where you're from, that means a lot to Davis. And he's starting because of the injury to Jones. Another Texas turnover. Tough finish there for Poole.
A nice strong drive by the diaper dandy. Picked that ball up, used his body really well. Michigan defensively really creating problems for Texas. They missed Jones. They missed that scoring.
Jace Febris into the game for Texas, number 13 in white. He comes in with a reputation of being a shooter, although the shots haven't fallen as often as he would like so far this year.
Yeah, he's a much better shooter than the numbers show.
Again, a lot of dribbling, not a ton of ball movement, but they get it inside, and Osipkowski can't finish it, and then is called for the foul.
Unbelievable. He had a great layup on the inside, got the ball down deep, but he comes up empty.
It's Macy's one-day sale. Shop great jewelry deals of the day, like 70% off fine jewelry clearance.
Well, we go inside the play right here. We're going to see this play. How Muhammad Ali gets so free coming down that lane. Watch this. He freezes it. Freeze that screen right now. Freeze it right here. Now watch him make that cut across the middle. Here he comes. And Osipkowski slow reacting to the ball. See that lane? Look at the lane. Put a Mack truck through there. He was slow reacting. Osipkowski's got to rotate over, and he's got to cut that driving angle off. The most important thing to play is where the ball is going to go. You got to watch the ball. See ball your man.
So Michigan starting to heat up. They missed their first 5. They're 6 of 11 since. Texas, meanwhile, continues to flounder. They're just 3 for 14, 4 turnovers, 6 points in better than 12 minutes for the Longhorns.
Well, where the big question is, where are they going to get their scoring right now? Oh, Sikowski's got to score for them or they're in trouble if he doesn't put points on the board.
Poole gets by Davis, elevates for the jumper, knocks it down. Nicely done by the freshman.
Nice little play right there. Pulled up under control. Squared his body exceptionally well. Nothing but nylon. The Wolverines are going to get better and better. That's a trademark of John Beilein's teams. They just get better and better and better.
Remember how good they were at the end of last year, winning the Big Ten tournament and then getting to the Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament.
And after that scare with that plane situation.
Yeah, where the plane skidded off the runway. Roach the kick. Davis open in the corner. Easy weak side rebound and put back for Roach.
John Beilein's not happy with that. I saw the look on the bench. Nobody there to block out. Simple offensive rebound and the score. Texas got to make some things happen with their defense. Get the crowd into it a little bit more. A little wide open layup.
Simpson with a beautiful feed delivers underneath.
Delivers with a nice cut. Simpson finds them. They're getting open layups.
Yep.
Lack of communication.
Ositkowski is bumped and finishes. Got a chance for 3.
He's the guy that's got to put points on the board. He's at Tulane. Came here, transferred.
You know, the amazing thing is when he came out of high school, Tulane was the only Division I program that offered him a scholarship. After a couple of years, he decided to transfer. He chose Texas over Arizona. That's how much he elevated his stock in the last couple of years.
Stock went up and up like your stock keeps going up. Got to make free throws. Mike Dunleavy doing a nice job with Tulane this year. Ever improved as a basketball team.
Another great feed. Bamba got a piece of it, though.
Yeah, Bamba came over and he made that miss happen. His presence. He's going to get some shots, though. He's going to think a little bit more offense.
He'll take a 3. He'll hit a 3.
That's about the 3rd one he's made this year. There's no question. When you use the term potential, it fits in to perfection.
Yep. As raw as he is at the offensive end, he is still projected in mock drafts as a potential top 5 pick because of what he can do with the defensive end and all that potential you talked about.
And he's so young, great personality. They'll love him wherever he's going to be. How about a nice spin?
Abdur-Rahman again somehow gets it over Bamba like Simpson did earlier in the game.
Yeah, Abdur-Rahman's had a nice little first half.
He has. Bamba driving into the chest, and it'll be an offensive foul as Wagner steps in to take the charge.
He knew it. Hello to coach. Coach likes it now, see? See, that's what I want out of you. That's what I want, you, Mo. That's what I want, Mo. That's all I want. I want you to play defense, Mo. There it is. Big Mo takes the charge.
So when Mo Bamba went on his visit to Michigan, Michigan was one of his final schools that he considered. Mo Wagner was his host. Wagner was the guy who showed him around all day in Ann Arbor.
He's not his host right now. He's not his host right now.
They never played against each other before tonight.
He also considered Harvard. Harvard was one of his schools.
Ositkowski, the foul, his second. Saturday on ABC, we'll have a couple of college football bowl games for you. At noon Eastern, it's Grambling, the SWAC champs, taking on North Carolina A&T. The MEAC champs in the 3rd annual Celebration Bowl. And at 3:30 Eastern, number 25, Boise State, taking on Oregon in the Las Vegas Bowl. Both games also streaming live on the ESPN app. As mentioned, 2 on Ositkowski, so he'll go to the bench. Sims back in his place.
Tell you, Texas 6-0 when holding opponents below 70. I don't know today.
But they got to up it at the offensive end, though, if that stat's going to hold true. So hesitation by Abdur-Rahman, having himself a heck of a half.
Too many layups getting to the rim. See, Wagner takes Bamba away from the basket.
Roach and a foul.
Got to make fouls. That was a nightmare, by the way, for Michigan. How they survived against UCLA. Ready for this, Dan? They went 8 for 22 on the free throw line. 8 for 22.
And trailed by 15 in the second half and got out-rebounded by 11 and won the game.
And Aaron Holiday is a pro, just like his brothers. And Steve Alford has to be the happiest man in all of basketball. The happiest man. Santa Claus came so early when Mr. LeVar said, no longer they're having any of my sons. Oh, really? That was like the greatest Christmas present ever given to Steve Alford.
LiAngelo and LaMelo going to Lithuania.
Lithuania, wow. Somebody sent me a tweet. It was nasty, but they sent it to me. They said, could they take the dad to Lithuania's coach as well? I couldn't believe that.
Things would be a little bit calmer in Westwood, that's for sure.
Tell you one thing, though. The guy loves his kids. I just don't like the way he's listening. Look, went to a zone now.
2-3 zone with Bamba in the middle.
Very dangerous the way Michigan could shoot that three.
Michigan's made 7 of its last 8 field goal attempts.
Shaka trying to change things up a little.
Nice move by Wagner.
He can utilize either hand in there, too. He's got a good first step. What a smart move he made coming back to Michigan.
And DJ Wilson was in the same boat. He decided to go to the NBA. First round pick by Milwaukee, but Wagner came back.
Well, he was drafted so high. Made a lot of money. I believe he was the 17th pick in the draft.
Correct.
You know, John Beilein's probably been hurt as much as any coach in the Big Ten with players leaving early. A lot of people don't realize that, but he's lost a number of kids early.
Well, that whole team that went to the national championship game in 2013, I think all 5 of them left early. That was a terrific team. Lost to Louisville. Fouls on Poole, his second, and Davis is at the line for Texas. Neither of these teams is a good free throw shooting team. The Wolverines come in at 63% of the season. The Horns at 61%. As Robinson returns for Michigan and Young returns for Texas. Changing the foul, not on Poole, it was on Livers. That's why Livers went to the bench.
And they're hanging around. They're not letting Michigan get away. And they have not played well at all, Texas. Third season here at Texas. He won 20 his first year. Last year lost 22. It was a tough year. Had no point guard.
Better this year and a good class. Both of these programs can boast a strong class coming in next year.
We got Mo versus Mo, man. You're gonna watch him right here. Little Mo versus Mo right here. Right there. Look. That little nice ball fake. Turns around. Little jump hook in the lane.
Score so they can get into some pressure and get some easy baskets.
Dan, back to you guys. The force is strong with Dick Vitale.
Dickie B, baby!
Hey.
The force is strong within this one, gentlemen. You are correct.
And let me tell you this right now. They're not able to get the free throw line. They haven't shot a free throw yet, Michigan. Maybe that's a good thing after going 8 for 22.
But they've really picked it up from the field. They're now up to 50%. They're 11 for 22. Texas just 33%, 6 for 18.
Well, like the guy said, they're getting a lot of layups on the inside, cutting by bringing the big guy away from the basket, opening up that lane. He doesn't even think offense. When he catches the ball, he's thinking about passing the basketball. He's going to slide off screens, roll it to go, throw some lobs to him.
He gets a good deep touch, but can't finish. Again, not as comfortable in the post as he is facing the basket.
That's an area he's going to work on. Get stronger physically and how to post up on the inside. Be a step-out player as well. See, Wagner gives you that strength. He can shoot the ball from deep.
Yep. Wagner pulling Bamba away from the basket. But the drive won't go down for Abdur Rahman, who's the high scorer in the game with 9. Roach leads Texas with 8. Sikowski on the bench with a couple of fouls, so Sims back in the game. Young the lob. Sims, the finish.
Well executed. Shaka claps. Jumps in joy. Nice little two-man game. Throw the lob up on top. There's the lob. Look at that bounce off the floor, man. Wow, he can really bounce off the floor.
That is his reputation. Outstanding athleticism and leaping ability, and we saw it there.
Yeah, Paul Biancardi told me, he said he's got extraordinary, unbelievable leaping ability.
Freshman from Minneapolis. His dad played in Minnesota back in the 70s.
How did they let him get out of Minnesota? How did Richard Pitino let this guy get away? How could he let him get away? Father played in Minnesota. Great player. Come on, Richard. Come on. Don't let him get out of the city.
Texas back within 6 and really brought the crowd to life with that dunk. A little pressure now, too. But Michigan breaks it.
Going a little trap. A little more bounce to their step. Michigan spreading the floor. They're good spacing. They're so well coached. I mean, that's coaching. That's coaching. Great spacing. Come on, guys. You know that's coaching, Mr. Greenberg. Mr. Williams, Chris, that's unbelievable coaching.
Wagner from Matthews. Bamba misses the three, and we get a foul going against Michigan underneath. Saturday, got a bowl triple header for you on ESPN at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. It's the Ardell Carriers New Orleans Bowl at the Superdome as Troy takes on the Mean Green of North Texas at 4:30. The Marshall Thundering Herd in Colorado State in the Gildan New Mexico Bowl, and then at 8 Middle Tennessee and Arkansas State in the Raycon Media Camellia Bowl. How do you feel about the Irish's chances in their bowl?
Well, they play LSU. I'm going to be going up there for that. LSU will be a tough opponent at the Citrus Bowl. After I come back from a game down there in Gainesville, I missed the free throw.
Now, that should have been 2 free throws. That was the 10th team foul on Michigan. Sims missed the first, and then everybody went after it. But Sims should have one more coming.
Well, correctable error right there. We can definitely make that correction. Saturday, you and I will be down in Lexington, Kentucky.
I think it's going to be fun. Against
really
Virginia Tech, that'll be a good game.
Well, it's going to be the first legitimate team they're playing. Kentucky 6, the Kansas game. I mean, all those other clubs, nice little clubs, mid-major clubs, but we're talking about coming from a power conference. They played Kansas. Now we'll see how much they've improved.
And Virginia Tech can put points on the board.
Yeah, they can score. Buzz Williams done a great job.
It's called getting a roll right there.
John Calipari's kids still get better and better and better. Diallo is certainly a talent. Knox, even though he had a bad game the last game in New York.
More pressure coming out from Texas. Shaka Smart going to a smaller lineup. And Michigan breaks it again. Brooks with a full head of steam. Pulls it back out.
They like Brooks. I think he's going to be one heck of a point guard. We got to remember these kids just out of high school. A few months ago.
He came off the bench the first 4 games. He has started now the last 8 in a row for the Wolverines.
Little one-on-one right here. Little macho man going against each other.
Behind the back.
Yeah.
And eventually fouled.
He's fired up.
He is.
Wagner is fired up. He knows this challenge he's facing. He's hearing all about top 5 in the NBA draft. He said, what about me, man? I can play too. A little behind the back. Little Dirk Nowitzki, huh? He wants to be like Dirk. It's in Germany.
Wagner on the season averaging 16 points and 8 rebounds per game. He's basically doubled his rebounding numbers from a year ago. Still Michigan ball. Maybe Watson has returned for the Wolverines. John Beilein's playing 9, 10, and occasionally 11 guys in a game. He's using a lot of people.
He says, hey, give him a scholarship, let him earn it. Too many coaches afraid to go to that bench. Most coaches play 7 guys.
Been a quiet first half for Charles Matthews, the Kentucky transfer. He was averaging almost 15 points per game. He had a big game, 20 points against UCLA on the weekend, although he really struggled from the line. But at times, he's been the go-to guy offensively for Michigan this year.
And that's a very good UCLA team.
Fouled on the shot attempt, and I think he was outside the arc.
He was.
So I think he's getting 3.
He's only got 3 looks. Is that the first time in a free throw line for them?
It is.
That's their first trip there, right?
Yep. Well, a young bit on the fake. The only good news for Texas here, as we mentioned, is Matthews is really scuffling from the line. It went 2 out of 10 against UCLA on Saturday, and he's at 48% on the season.
He said he works that like you can't believe. Sometimes it becomes psychological. They're going to check them on her.
And
I mentioned big guys earlier, and I was telling you there's a kid by the name of Brandon McCoy from out of UNLV. Played at Cathedral Catholic. They got a player down there in that high school by the name of Obina. You remember this kid? Name, Anyan Wo. He is the real deal. 6'7". He's averaging about 15 rebounds a game. Plays for Coach Cunningham down there.
6'7", high school
freshman who's a man. I mean, rebound. And they got an outstanding young freshman point guard, Alex Wade, as well. His dad, Steve, is one of the coaches.
Looks pretty good on the first.
They look pretty good right there.
You could see in the game Saturday against UCLA that it did get in his head, that he was struggling with it mentally. But when he's on, he can be terrific. He made a number of plays in second half and overtime, along with Xavier Simpson, to lead the Wolverines to a real spirited comeback victory.
And the crowd also played a big part in that. They really played a big role in that victory.
2 out of 3.
Pretty good. Yeah, 2 out of 3 is not bad. Didn't Meatball say that?
Meatloaf.
Meatball.
Oh, man.
That's a turnover.
What are we going to do with you?
Meatball,
Oh,
Meatloaf.
man. Jay will help me out.
I like meatballs. Meatloaf. 2 out of 3.
That one is going to trend, as they say, Dickie V.
Oh, goodness. I'll never hear the end of it on Twitter.
You won't. Coleman with a penetration. Davis with a 3.
Oh, wow. Great ball movement. And none of them come close. You got to get people that can make shots.
And their best shooter this year, Andrew Jones, is the guy out with a wrist injury. Matthews from 15. That's pretty.
It was really pretty the way he came. Curl move right at the elbow. Yelled at. I can see my Twitter going nuts about that before. Remember, it's Dickie V. At Dickie V on Twitter. Send me anything you want. I'm a big boy. I can handle it.
The lead, 11 now for Michigan. The foul on Simpson.
You tell Greenberg.
If you came to rehearsal, we discussed these things before the game.
Tell Greenberg stop laughing. Him and Williams are laughing their head off.
Jay Will might have fallen right out of his seat. Young at the line for Texas.
His father was a great player.
Yes.
Father played for Houston, 5-slammer jammer. I never thought Guy V. Lewis got the credit he deserved for the years and job that he did at Houston. I mean, he did a terrific job. That 5-slammer jammer team with Drexler and Olajuwon and Young, Reed Geddes, they were really special.
Lost to NC State in 83, lost to Georgetown in 84, but incredibly talented.
They lost to a guy named Jimmy V.
Yep.
The legacy began when he ran around the court looking for somebody to hug. And now the legacy bigger than ever, raising over $200 million, the V Foundation.
Matthews driving again. He's got talent.
Tell you what, Matthews is a talented player, multi-talented, but again, brilliant coaching by Bielon. He takes away Bamba away from the basket. He has Wagner way on the outside, opening up driving lanes.
And Michigan's lead is up to 12. Texas looking to hold for the final shot of what has been an ugly first half for them at the offensive end.
Yeah, you can't, hard to believe 20 points with a 3-point shot. Shot clock in the game.
A turnover. Livers will not go at the end of the half. That kind of sums up how the first 20 minutes went for the Longhorns. Michigan on the road with a 12-point lead over Texas. Can't wait to hear what the guys think about Dickie V. Chris Connor, Jay Will, Seth Greenberg. Take it away.
Nothing but love as always, Dan. Dickie V.
There's only one Dickie V now.
Meatloaf. Ready for the start of the second half here with the Irwin Center in Austin, Texas. Michigan with a 12-point lead on the road against the Texas Longhorns. This is Star Wars night. Instead of may the Force be with you, it's may the Horns be with you. And this guy using the Force to get up through that dunk. Nicely done. Texas could use a little bit of that. Now, they have really struggled at the offensive end, shooting just 30% in the first half back in Austin. Dick Vitale, Dan Schulman. Michigan started slowly, but they really picked it up, and they did a nice job not letting Bamba take over at the defensive end.
Well, what they did is they isolated, took Bamba away from the basket, and it opened up driving lanes, and did a great job getting into the basket. Got a little scoop shot underhand. Watch this. There's the drive. He comes over. He can't get a piece of it. And we're going to watch another spin move on the inside. Use the left hand really well. They really attacked the rim well. I thought they got a great performance inside from Abdul-Rahman. He did a terrific job.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman with 9 to lead Michigan. Kermit Roach the second with 8 to lead Texas. Michigan didn't score in the first 4 minutes of the game, and then after that they shot 64%, scored 32 points in the last 16 minutes. Probably making Ray Jackson pretty proud. A guy from the Fab Five back in the day.
Fab Five, Mr. Jalen Rose. Think about Juwan Howard, Chris Webber, Jimmy King. He lives in Texas. He's here wearing his Michigan shirt proudly, cheering them on. I wish that Chris Webber and Jalen Rose would bury all the hard feelings and hug one another and get back together, because really what they did was so unique when they played. The fashion they established.
Well, 5 freshmen back then, nobody had ever seen that kind of thing before, for years and years.
Go to the Final Four, and then go 2 years in a row.
You know, it's a big game for both teams. Who knows what the next couple of months will mean for these two programs, but you know, this is the kind of game where if you're a bubble team or somewhere in that vicinity, to have a win over another type of team at your level, this would be big, especially for Michigan if they can get a road win.
Absolutely. A road win against a team from an elite power conference is big. Yep. Even the VBDI recognizes that. Nice cut again.
And Wagner is fouled. Michigan will have an interesting game on Saturday at Little Caesars Arena, the new home of the Pistons and the Red Wings in downtown Detroit against Detroit Mercy. That game on ESPNU, and then back into conference play in early January. Of course, all the Big Ten teams have already played a couple of conference games.
Well, my first year, we beat Michigan, and we couldn't get them back on the schedule. I got Johnny Orr wouldn't play us until we met them in the NCAA tournament my last year. They were #1 in the country. And my guys, John Long, Terry Tyler, we went right to the wire. That's big. All they need is that.
For three.
That could be an Uncle Mo. That could be a momentum builder. That's like scoring a touchdown here in Texas. They love their football. Wow.
He made 3 of them in Texas's last game, and it's a big part of his offense, although the numbers don't look great. He's got the green light to shoot it.
I can make that 3. Look at that, wide open. You give me that shot, Dan. I will make that at least 3 out of 10 times.
No way. Meanwhile, though, Osetkowski just picked up his 3rd foul, so that's a concern for the Longhorns.
Well, you know, he's got a plan. He can't take a chance.
Wagner tries to answer. Offensive rebound, Abdur Rahman.
Rahman's had a heck of a game, Abdur Rahman. Really played well.
Drive and kick, extra pass.
Look at that ball movement.
Everybody gets a touch. Robinson misses it, and a late whistle will send Robinson to the line for 3.
Well, it was a late call. It was a late call. Was it the right call? It was a late call. Ooh, I don't know about that. Yeah, there's the contact late.
So Eric Davis commits the foul, and Robinson to the line for 3.
Now they go huddle up on the...
And we're told they might be just confirming who the foul was on, and it is on number 10, Eric Davis.
It looks like he made contact at the end, but I just thought it was such a late call.
So Robinson to the free throw line doesn't get there often because he's such a jump shooter, but a good free throw shooter, 8 for 9 on the season, 78% a year ago. And the Michigan lead back to 10. It was a very low-scoring start to the game. About 4 minutes in, it was 2-0 Texas. But the Michigan certainly heated up as the game moved along.
Now here's the guy that would like to see on the free throw line, Michigan, because he can stroke it. It's amazing to win a game shooting 8 for 22 at home. They had some great news down in Michigan, though, on that game as well. Great quarterback Shea Patterson committed to Jim Harbaugh. Saw him down at IMG Academy when he played. Was rated the #1 quarterback, transferred from out of Mississippi.
2-3 zone, Michigan over the top to Bamba.
Why not more of that? Why not more of that, Dan? Why not release him to the goal, throw some lobs up to him? He's very fluid, he's smooth, he's got an incredible wingspan.
Bamba with his 2nd bucket of the night. Texas ball.
He can run too, man. Look at him run that court. What potential's unreal. That's his problem, trying to hold position in a post. Wagner just took him right out of the post position. Screen, release him, and then throw the lob up to him.
Osetkowski bumped in, finishes.
Strong play right there. Osetkowski keeping him in the game.
Well, he's a big, strong guy. You got to bump him hard to knock him off his path.
That's the only alley-oop, the diagonal pass. Catches it above the rim, slams it down. Oh, my man, I wonder if he knows how good he can be. The sky, man, is the limit for that kid. It's unbelievable, his potential.
And Duncan Robinson just picked up his 3rd, and that's going to send him to the bench as Isaiah Livers, the freshman, checks back in his place. So they lose their shooter. And with a 3-point play for Osetkowski, Texas getting back into it, down by 7.
Gets the crowd going a little bit, too. The bench has got a little bit of jubilation. Andrew Jones leading the cheers.
Livers and called for the travel. Andrew Jones out with a fracture in his wrist. Hopefully back in a few weeks for the Horns. John Beeline needs a timeout. Momentum, Texas.
I'm not sure who your father was.
Battling cancer. Nothing worse, Dad, than watching a mom and dad watch their child battle that dreaded disease.
As always, the work you do is unbelievable. The energy you have and the time you devote and the money you've raised for the cause over the years.
Well, we're going to give a research grant that night when Jim's there for memory of Chad Carr, little guy that lost his life.
Sitkowski, another three.
He's feeling it. He's got that bench jumping with joy. Uncle Mo has arrived in Austin. Uncle Mo is here in Austin, Texas.
They scored 20 points the entire first half. They've already got 11 here in the second half.
Now Wagner's got a screen roll.
Abdur-Rahkman creates a little space, misses the shot.
Bamba with the good rebound.
Bamba for three. And it is Michigan ball.
Bamba's going to work a little bit on taking the ball to the basket, too. Get a great first step, put the ball to the deck. He's got a lot of parts of his game offensively that he will get better and better at because he's a very good, bright young guy. He's going to watch someone get a sports foul.
Livers, air ball on a fadeaway. Bamba a block, but Abdur-Rahkman in the right place.
Abdur-Rahkman's been in the right place most of the night for the Wolverines. Very active. Bamba comes up with the block shot, but they don't recover the ball.
Coleman wants the ball screen, gets it from Sitkowski.
Coleman's terrific high school point guard, played an Oak Hill. He's a solid floor leader. He's got to work a little bit more on his perimeter shooting.
Roach trying to go baseline, turns it over.
There was nowhere to go. Absolutely nowhere to go. It was a poor play right there by Roach.
Brooks gets it over into the front court. Doesn't turn the ball much at all. The freshman, number 55. He's a good, solid freshman guard. Splitting time to the point with Simpson. They've also got Jerron Simmons, a grad student from out of Ohio, but he hasn't played much the last couple of games.
He was a big-time scorer out of Ohio. All conference, they thought he'd step in as a graduate student and be a vital factor.
Foul on Matthews to take us to a timeout. Michigan by 6.
I excel under pressure.
I excel at protecting the line.
Arizona State.
Well, that's certainly a rarity, especially lost to Arizona State right at home at the Allen Fieldhouse. Lost to Washington and Kansas City. But I'll tell you one thing. You still look at that conference. West Virginia is getting better and better and better from that opening loss. Bob Huggins belongs to the Hall of Fame. But what about Jamie Dixon? They're undefeated, one of the lone unbeaten teams right now in the nation. But Bob Hurley Jr., Arizona State's guards have been terrific. What a job he is doing up there. I'm so happy for him because I know he works like you cannot believe.
They are fun to watch.
That'll be interesting when they play Arizona. And never, I said it when they lost 3 games, don't count them out. Any team that has Trier and Ayton has a chance to beat anyone. They can put you on the floor, me on the floor, and put Meatball as the 5th gun.
Who do you think right now is the best team in the country?
Michigan State.
Michigan State?
Michigan State. Even though right now you got to vote for, I voted for Villanova, so they're undefeated.
Wagner down with the rebound. Abdur-Rahkman in transition.
I think Michigan State's improved because their guards have gotten better and better.
Bamba with another block.
I'll tell you, Bamba, you can't measure what he does for this team by looking at a stat sheet.
Livers called for the foul. That was the 3rd block of the night for Bamba. The average is 4 per game. We got North Carolina and Tennessee coming your way. Holiday Hoops presented by Zales. Sunday afternoon at 3 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. I think a lot of people maybe early kind of sleeping on North Carolina a little bit, but they're going to make a lot of noise.
Oh, absolutely. They can score. Kid Felton's getting better and better now. What do you see him? North Carolina had them against Michigan. They were brilliant. Tennessee, very good, very athletic. Rick Barnes has done a terrific job. Sometimes the divorce is good for everybody involved. And I really believe that Rick has found a niche now back in Tennessee. Did a great job here in Texas. Sometimes people don't realize what an amazing job he did here.
Look at the top 10. North Carolina sitting 7th in the rankings right now. There's Arizona State just flying up the rankings. And after all kinds of big wins, they've beaten Xavier, they've beaten Kansas. They got some terrific wins. And Villanova just mid-season form doesn't do them justice.
Well, Villanova, to me, has the best force amount of perimeter you could possibly have. When you get Brunson, and you think about Booth, you think about Bridges, and you throw in DiVincenzo as well.
Wagner. Livers with a good rebound in traffic.
That's a big-time rebound by the kid off the bench. Give him a second opportunity. They were down 12 at half. Texas, few adjustments. Shaka Smart here to down 4.
Livers for 3. And Michigan with a couple of three-point attempts on that trip coming up empty.
Nice little rebound inside by Bamba.
7 straight misses now for the Wolverines from 3. Bamba the screen. Roach keeps the dribble alive. Up to Bamba. Gathers and is fouled.
I got to do a little more of that. They got to utilize his ability, his size, his wingspan for some dunks around the basket. They try to throw it up on top. Defense rotates over, gets a piece of the ball.
And Matthews picks up his 3rd foul of the game. So Robinson, Livers, and Matthews, a trio of Wolverines with 3 fouls.
Got to make those free throws, man. You got to make those free throws. You're trying to battle from behind.
Bamba, a guy who could have gone just about anywhere, and a story that's been told often. The relationship with Shaka Smart began when Shaka was coaching a U18 USA team.
They won the gold medal in Chile. I have a problem. I have a problem with that now. I'm going to lay you down here. I don't think coaches should be allowed to coach those kids and have the advantage to develop that in recruiting.
So who coaches those teams?
You got coaches out there, guys that are available other than coaches that are currently coaching. I just don't think it's fair. It's a tremendous recruiting advantage.
Charles Matthews with a corner 3.
Charles Matthews came away at Kentucky.
Matthews a redshirt sophomore, so he's got 2 more years of eligibility after this one. Davis finds a seam. Good ball movement here. Roach from the corner.
It's been a nightmare for them shooting a 3. Why not get good high school coaches to coach them? Why not? Don't give a guy that kind of an advantage.
Texas now 3 for 13 from 3-point range.
And that's been the story all year. They haven't shot the 3 well. I think 28% coming into the game.
Michigan not shooting it well either. They're just 3 for 11. Simpson absorbing a lot of contact. Good defense by Coleman. Bamba with another rejection.
Tell you, Bamba, you can't measure his value by the stat sheet, man. His defensive presence is unreal.
And another corner 3 won't go down.
Why so many threes? Yeah, you're not shooting well. You know it's a negative. You got to do what's positive. Attack the rim. Attack the rim. Utilize their athleticism. They're very athletic, Texas.
Matthews to Wagner, and he's feeling it right now.
And that's their strength. Their strength, number 1 priority of Shaka was contain the 3 ball. They go to their strengths. They go to their weaknesses.
Wagner hardly played the first 10 minutes of the game. Picked up a foul in the first minute. Got a tongue lashing on the bench and sat out for about 8 or 9 minutes.
That was Coach Love, man. Love. A lot of love.
You must have dished out a little of that love when you were coaching.
Oh, geez. Sloppy. Really possessed. They'll let the game get away now again. If he makes this.
Wagner again.
Get a TO, baby. Shaka, get a TO. Get a TO. They're back to 12. It's nice when you got a senior who can step out like a veteran player that can step out and make threes.
Mo Wagner, back-to-back threes for Michigan. Texas was making a run, but momentum has definitely swung the other way thanks to Mo Wagner.
I was looking at Michigan, who they recruited. They got a kid, Castleton, coming in from Daytona Beach, 6'11". They got a guard they love, DeJulius from Detroit, the Motor City. Brandon Johns from East Lansing. And they got a kid by the Nunez from Brooklyn. And I know you love this kid they got coming in. Brazdelikis from out of Canada, a left-hander. A lot of Canadians, man.
A lot of good players. And Nick Stauskas, a great Canadian who played at Michigan back in the day.
Got traded to the Nets.
Ossetkowski, a little bit too strong. Another three-point attempt from Texas. They're now 3 for 15.
That's 20%. 3 of the threes, 1. 3 to 15, 5.
They've taken almost as many threes as twos. And again, as you said, that is not a strength of theirs, to say the least. Matthews with a strong finish.
That's his strength.
Yep.
Attacking the rim. Athlete came out of Chicago, initially committed to Kentucky, played there, had a tough time getting playing time. You know, Ulis was there and Murray was there. It's tough to get any playing time.
9 minutes into the second half, the lead is 14. Young leaves it short, follows it up.
His dad was a left-hander too, Michael Young. Part of an explosive 5-slammer jammer from out of Houston, Guy V. Lewis's club.
Wagner on the bench right now for Michigan as Matthews draws the foul in the last timeout. Let's listen to what Shaka Smart had to say.
Hey, this game, it goes back and forth. What? We got to bear down and try to get some stops, and then come down here and attack. Get good shots.
Use the word attack like you did. They're not attacking the rim all that much. He said we're getting good shots, but they're taking a lot of threes.
Yeah, their strength is to attack both the mounts, especially without Jones down, their scorer.
Simpson a crossover. Livers with 2 on the shot clock. Abdul-Rahman gets it off, or did he? Got it off in time. It hit the rim and bounced out of bounds off Sims. Wow. So Michigan gets it back.
Michigan getting every break now, baby. But you make those breaks happen by the way you play. Let's see if you get this off on time.
He did not. So it should be Texas ball.
Should be Texas ball, is right.
Michigan gets a break.
Let's see if they capitalize. Never lost their poise when Texas made that run at it.
Wagner back in for Teskey. Livers misses the jumper, and now the Longhorns have it. Young, no, and Abdul-Rahman down with a rebound.
Got to make that layup. Got to make that layup. Michigan's done a good job in defensive transition, too. We haven't seen many fast break opportunities.
Michigan coming off a win over UCLA, trying to add a road win over Texas to their resume.
It would be a good one.
Simpson misses the 3. A lot of grappling underneath, but out of the scrum comes Roach.
Well, you know, Texas wants to run with that basketball, and they're doing a great job getting back, making them play 5-on-5.
Sims.
I thought he got fouled. I thought he got fouled. Yeah. I thought there was some contact.
I think the student section near that bucket agrees with you.
Yeah, I think Darth Vader even agreed down there. Jedi Master agreed too.
If you could win over Darth Vader, your powers are stronger than I thought they were. You know, Michigan had Star Wars night in Ann Arbor a few days ago. Now they come here, and it's Star Wars night for Texas.
Look at this. Runs right over to his coach.
Texas fans and bench getting on the officials a little bit. Roach called for his 3rd.
Tell you what, the next 3 minutes plus a bit to Texas if they're going to get this to where they have a chance in the last 5 minutes.
They've beaten the likes of Butler and VCU this year. We mentioned there were only 2 losses, both in overtime, one to Duke and one to Gonzaga. Nothing to be ashamed of there.
And they had a 16-point lead against the Dukies.
Yeah. In the second half.
Exactly.
Wagner and Bamba out on the perimeter. Shot clock's at 4. Simpson launches. And And another offensive rebound for Michigan.
Tell you what, they really get on that glass. One thing about John Beilein's teams, you'll never beat them because they're not ready to play and because they don't play hard.
Simpson with a drive and a finish.
They know how to spread the court, and they know how to get to the rim and utilize their ability to get layups.
And the lead back to 14, less than 8 minutes to go. Texas made a little run at the beginning of this half, but those two big threes by Wagner. Now a travel. Davis moved that pivot foot. And a timeout on the floor. Shaka Smart and the Horns are some kind of frustrated right now.
Gonna take a look at this. The lane opens real wide. There's the little scoop underhand. They worked on that to shoot around, you told me.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by...
Back in Austin, a 14-point lead for the Michigan Wolverines on the road here against Texas. The Longhorns just having trouble making shots, which has been a problem often for them this year. They've got 3 threes in this game, and they've all come from front court players. Osikowski's made a couple. Bamba's made one. None of their guards have made a three-pointer in this game.
It doesn't shock me because their best guard is sitting on the bench right now in street clothes with a broken wrist. Andrew Jones. I didn't name Andrew Jones. I always think about the center fielder.
One of the best,
I thought he was going to be a lock for the Hall of Fame after his first 5 or 6 years. Yeah. Boy, then he just disappeared.
A travel called on Wagner, and Wagner appears to be injured, still down on the court. And clutching his right foot.
He's certainly a guy they can't afford to lose,
Absolutely.
I'll tell you that. Came back to school, had applied to MBA, decided to come back.
Stepped on a foot. How often do you see that, and rolled his ankle? Yeah, it's just something you see so often in basketball, and he's hobbling off the court right now.
They're going to take advantage of that right now. They're going to really try to attack around the rim.
Teske in Wagner's place. Osikowski draws the double team. The cutter is Bamba.
Why not more of that, Dan? Why not more of that? Right down the gut of the defense. Flip the ball up high. He's so smooth. He's agile. He's mobile. And he's not fragile.
It's a 12-point game.
I love the way Michigan spaces the court. They really do. Great. Coaches talk about that. 15, 17 feet apart, so you can't get a lot of help. John Beilein, he has worked his level like you can't believe at every level to get where he's at.
He's been a head coach for 40 years. First Division II for a number of years. And had a lot of success in so many different programs at the D1 level.
His son right now is a head coach as well.
Patrick, you want to talk about a guy who had some shooting range. Poole trying to stay with Roach. Looking inside, Osikowski. It'll stay with Texas. 8 on the shot clock.
Terrible pass to the post. You get to throw the bounce pass. Wagner going to the locker room.
Not a good sign for Michigan.
He's hobbling. I don't think we'll see him the rest of this night.
And with a rolled ankle like that, it can get better soon. It can last a while. Sometimes it takes a couple of days to see the full effect of an injury of that kind. Step back 3. How about that from Roach?
Roach makes one. One finally goes down for the perimeter people. That 3 could be a little life single. Oh, steal on the inbound.
Young with a steal. And he will finish.
Comes the full court trap. Here comes that trap.
Michigan needs some poise right now.
Nice job by using a diagonal pass. And here's where you miss a guy like Wagner. His experience. Good timeout right there. Good timeout. We got a game now.
7-point lead.
Hiring was always a huge challenge. Endless hours on job sites with...
Bail Michigan out by hitting 2 consecutive threes. He's not here now.
And a lot of noise back in the building here to the Irwin Center. Texas has definitely stepped up the pressure at the defensive end. This is what they did late in the Gonzaga game out of Portland when they roared back to force overtime, although the Zags won it in overtime. Osikowski closes out on Robinson and takes it away from him.
Did a great job closing out on the shooter. He knows Robinson is a shooter and he attacked him. See, I would go inside. Osikowski should slide to the post.
Young. It won't go for him.
Give him a little spark, Young. See, that possession, I think you got to play smart and you got to go to the big guy in the post with no Wagner there.
John Beilein calling out a play for the bench. Just over 5 minutes to go. Simpson in some trouble, gets out of it. 4 to shoot. Abdur-Rahman banks one home.
Tell you what, the bank's open, as Timmy B would say, baby. That was a big trifecta.
And it's back to 10. What a big shot that was for Michigan.
Oh, that takes your heart away from you.
And a foul against Robinson.
Here he comes, a little bank time. Right off the glass. I know he didn't call that. I can guarantee you.
But if you were standing with the Star Wars theme, you would have said the force was strong.
The force was strong.
Number 4, meanwhile, on Robinson. That's a loss. So Wagner's in the locker room after rolling his ankle, and Robinson's on the bench right now with 4 fouls. Osikowski with a mismatch. Teske over to help.
Well, they double the pop.
Coleman with an air ball on the 3. Teske with a rejection.
Nice play right now. Right now, Mr. Beilein's becoming like Jedi Master. He's the master, man. Look at him taking control.
Teske stepping up in the absence of Wagner.
Good defensive play by Teske. Utilizing that size. They're patient on offense.
Always, yep.
They're really patient.
4 minutes to go.
They're going to make sure they get good shots.
Simpson to Teske and Bamba
Bamba. What a defensive play. He's a defensive superstar. Oh, he got a bad angle.
Yeah.
Had a bad angle when he threw the ball.
Got caught under the basket, couldn't spin it home. And again, Michigan will walk the ball up the court.
He's going to be like Mutombo as a person and as a player. He's so bright, so articulate. He just absolutely has a great engaging personality. And you watch what he does as he grows as a player. Like Mutombo has affected so many.
5 to shoot. Matthews. Texas ball. Young's got one thing on his mind. And unfortunately, everybody in the building knew it.
He gets a little bit out of control.
Yeah.
He gets a little bit out of control as a young player.
A lot of blocked shots in this game. At one end, it's John Teske filling in for the injured Mo Wagner. And at the other end, Mo Bamba doing what Mo Bamba.
For you, and you pull it out, and it's a unicorn from Latvia.
Mo Wagner is back from the locker room, but moving very gingerly, as you can see. And Tom Wyrot, the sports information director for Michigan, came over during the timeout and told us that Wagner is not going to return tonight.
Tell you one thing, guys like Tom Wyrot and certainly right here, Scott McConnell, they do a phenomenal job.
Yep.
They give us all kinds of information.
2 of the best.
Yeah, 2 of the SIDs across this nation. They're so underpaid, it's unbelievable.
Osikowski with a powerful move. Makes it an 8-point game.
They're going to get the ball to him a little bit more. At the full court trap, he's at the point of the trap. You don't want to pull up your dribble. Good reverse man, 1 step behind the line of the ball.
Xavier Simpson getting the minutes at the point at crunch time to handle this Texas pressure.
And did a great job with Dan. 1 step off the line of the ball, so you have a reverse man on the trap.
Livers inside, too strong. Texas ball.
So I think some screen and rolls with Bamba to get him to the basket and throw the lob. They switch on every screen.
Livers in there after Robinson went to the bench with his 4th. Livers trying to body up with Osikowski. Roach baseline. And good defense by Matthews.
Very athletic. Coleman's had a very quiet game.
Spins and somehow banks it home.
He can get to the rim. He's a star player, no kill. It's a trap.
First field goal of the night for Coleman. Michigan gets it over again. And now you would think they would take the air out of the ball again for a little bit.
They want to manage the clock now. Yep. Each possession, just manage the clock. Not a good free throw shooting team, though. Especially with Robinson out of the lineup.
Neither team over the limit yet. Shot clock is down to 5.
Switch up on top.
And Teskey is grabbed underneath. They took advantage of the mismatch there. Young called for the foul. That'll be the 6th team foul on the Longhorns.
He just pulls him down. He does a total mismatch. Total mismatch. I mean, these two guys can play a little football.
And Robinson is back in on the offensive end here. After the foul, the shot clock resets to 20. So Michigan can run a few more seconds off. And now Young is limping as he makes his way out of the game. Davis back in.
Robinson comes in, gives him a good free throw shooter.
Yep. Next Texas foul puts Michigan on the line.
Bad pass.
That pass stolen away by Roach.
Terrible pass. Terrible entry. Olakowski's got to go to the post. Throw the ball in the post to him.
And before they can get it to him, Abdur-Rahman is called for the foul. That'll be his 3rd. And that's the 6th team foul on Michigan.
That's also very important now for Texas to convert. Because if you convert on the free throw line, you can go to the full court pressure. Look at Beeline.
Wow.
Down Beeline. Can't believe the entry. So that's not one of my teams I coach. We don't make entries like that.
Now, they're one of the best in the country year after year at committing the fewest number of turnovers again this year.
Size advantage right here.
Oh, Osikowski. Yes, he did.
Oh, no doubt about it.
He used that right arm to hook his way around Matthews. Got him right in the jaw, too. And Osikowski's picked up his 4th.
No doubt about it. Legitimate call. Look at that hand.
Are
you kidding me? No way in the world you're getting away with that. That's not a heady play. No. He's a bright guy.
That's the easiest call the officials have had tonight.
Easiest call you can make.
Yeah. And you can hear the crowd hates it, and you understand why. We're here in Austin, but that's an easy call. And I think they might actually take a look at it to see if it warrants a flagrant one.
Flagrant foul, possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just not a smart play. He's too good a player. Too good a player.
When he sees it on replay, and when Shaka Smart sees it on replay, they'll feel a little bit differently about it than they probably do
You're
right
down
now.
6, a big possession. Got 1:27 on the clock, Danny. Danny Shulman, what is he thinking? What is he thinking here? You tell me what he's thinking. That could be a flagrant.
Yeah, it's an easy call as an offensive foul, and it wouldn't be shocking if they gave him a flagrant one.
Oh, my. Come on now.
It's more of a forearm than an elbow, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to be a flagrant one. And this is a big call. Michigan's got the ball, but if it's a flagrant one, it's 2 shots, and then they get the ball. So it just gives them a chance to add a couple of points at the free throw line.
Could put you right in the coffin.
Yeah. 53-47, 2nd year in a row, a hard-fought, low-scoring game between these two teams. Michigan won 53-50 last year in Ann Arbor.
He had such a mismatch size-wise, and M&M down in the post, and he's so skilled in a post. Olakowski's so talented in there. He had a great advantage to cut this to 4. Instead, you're going to see this. Uh-oh, here it goes.
The officials coming over to tell us the call. It is an offensive foul, but no flagrant one.
I think the reason they didn't call it flagrant, time of the game, score, to me, a flagrant's a flagrant, no matter when. That was a flagrant foul. That was a flagrant foul. Agree or disagree?
I think it's borderline flagrant foul. I mean, it's a definite offensive foul. Definitely a foul call on Osikowski. I mean, he didn't really ring him with the elbow. He kind of got him with the forearm, but it's right on the line. If they'd gone the other way with that, you could have made a case for it too, in my opinion. But either way, Michigan was going to get the ball back.
I like disagreeing with you.
That's fine.
I like disagreeing.
You can do that. You've been around a long time. You can disagree with me anytime you want. It'll stay with Michigan.
That was a big possession. Really a big possession right there. If he scores against the four, this place is going to explode here in center.
If you're Michigan, you'd love Robinson to get the ball in case they decide to foul. Matthews is not a good free throw shooter.
Yeah. They should have fouled him back there. Should have fouled him. They shot 8 for 22. He was 2 for 10.
But now you got to play out the possession at this point.
You got to know it. I mean, right there was a perfect time to go for the steal, not foul. Put him on the line. You don't want to foul him.
5 to shoot.
What an advantage Michigan got in this possession.
Abdur-Rahman, 2 more. What a night he's having. 16 points, 10 rebounds in the game for Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman.
He's been the MVP.
Yeah.
He's been the MVP.
Simpson.
Good
Robinson.
Pass. Clock is their buddy right now.
And now they'll put Abdur-Rahman on the line, but Michigan executing well in the last couple of minutes of this game.
They were much more efficient. They were really made sure they did the right thing, spread the court right down there. Texas should have definitely fouled Matthews.
And the Osipkowski foul, a big turning point. They were down by 6. He had a chance to take advantage of a mismatch, could have made it a 4-point game.
And momentum on their side if he scores down there. I don't know what he could have thought of to think how you're going to get away with that. You got 3 receivers looking at that.
Livers back into the game for Teske for Michigan. And for the Wolverines, if they hang on to win this game, they'll go to 9-3 on the season. They've got a win over Indiana. They've got a win over UCLA. They've got a win over VCU.
I think it looks pretty nice in your resume when you got a win over UCLA and back-to-back and a win on the road against Texas.
And this one's even sweeter, though, as Coleman knocks down a 3, if they can win it, because this one comes on the road, and wins in true road games are tough to come by, right?
Especially the elite power conference win on the road.
Well, and if they do win it, the one guy they'll point to maybe more than anybody else is Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman.
Yeah, Abdur-Rahman made some big plays, hit some big threes, drove down the lane with the jam. There he is right now. Gonna hit another one off the backboard. Everything was going his way. Veteran player, his experience, a difference maker. He and Wagner, their experience. I thought a big part of this game was Wagner hitting 2 big threes when Texas made a run. And in fairness to Texas, I can't say enough how much they miss Andrew Jones, the kind of year he's having.
And Michigan are playing well after Wagner went out with the injury as well. Abdur-Rahman, a big reason why.
Good win for the Big Ten for Michigan. By the middle of the year in the Big Ten, they're going to have to respect this team big time. Big time. Minnesota's fallen on some little ground. They beat Drake the other day.
And Purdue's going to make noise. They're bouncing back. Lost a couple of games at Atlantis, but they're back in the rankings, so they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
I'm really disappointed. Wisconsin. I thought what happened, build around him, they would have been a lot better.
They'll put Robinson on the line, and John Beilein will take that.
Still got to go to East Lansing to win the Big Ten, because I'm telling you, Michigan State is for real.
Loaded.
They are loaded. Size.
Depth.
I mean, Jackson and Bridges, Langford, Winston. Coach knows a little bit about coaching. A guy named Izzo. He's got a chance.
He's got a chance.
He's got a chance to get a renewal of his contract. I think that's going to possibly happen.
Wagner playing the role of cheerleader over on the bench right now as Robinson steps to the line.
And John Beilein's happy to see him on the line. He's got that nice stroke. He's a kid who believed and believed. John Beilein's still coaching, man. He has had so many stops as a coach, and everywhere he's been WWW. Did a great job in West Virginia with Bob Huggins. Bob Huggins belongs to the Hall of Fame. Over 800 wins. Are you kidding me? How is he not in the Hall? There are guys in the Hall that haven't done half of what he's done.
Lead up to 8, less than 30 seconds to go. Coleman misses the 3, and a great rebound by Matthews. They turn it over, though. And stepping out of bounds, Roach, as he caught the pass, was standing out of bounds. Texas shooting just 36% 46% on the night. They've missed some free throws. Made a couple of runs in the second half, but both times Michigan withstood them. And now Matthews is fouled.
You know, Texas made NCAA almost every year from '99 to 2012. And I want to get this out. Kevin Durant was here for 1 year. And Kevin Durant's generosity and his love for the university is unreal. Let's get on a tour today. Kevin, it's so really beautiful that you haven't forgotten this place. A lot of people say, oh, these one-and-dones don't care. Think about what Carmelo Anthony did down at Syracuse. Think about Kevin Love and Westbrook, what they've done at UCLA. The Anthony Davis and all the kids at Kentucky. So the one-and-done, in a way, these guys haven't forgotten where they got that great name recognition. I mean, it's amazing some of the things that Kevin's doing here. Donating a lot of cash.
Texas ball with just 8 seconds to go as Poole will come back into the game for Michigan. It'll be a rewarding flight home for the Michigan Wolverines, although there will be concern about Mo Wagner and how long that ankle injury may keep him out. Their next game, as we mentioned, is on Saturday against Detroit Mercy at Little Caesars Arena in downtown Detroit. Then they don't play till the following Thursday. Then they've got over a week off. So they've only got 3 games in the next, say, 2.5 weeks.
That helps also.
Yeah, but boy, Wagner's a big part of what they do.
First loss at home for Texas today. They were 4-0 coming in here.
And that will do it. Michigan comes to Austin, and they pick up a hard-fought, low-scoring win here. 59-52 over Texas as the Wolverines go to 9-3 on the season. The Longhorns fall to 6-3. Dickie V and I will see you from Rupp Arena Saturday. And Lexington as Kentucky hosts Virginia Tech. For now, good night from Austin. Thanks for watching. Let's send you to Sports Center.
Hey, everybody. Hope you liked the game. Nothing else going on in the news world. Sports. We got